If you feel like you're spending too much time managing your community manager, answering their questions, and giving them constant direction, you're not alone. Many membership owners hire a community manager expecting them to run the community, drive engagement, and improve retention, but instead they find themselves still heavily involved in every decision. The problem isn't your community manager. The problem is they're working reactively instead of proactively. Today, I'm going to break down the difference between a community manager and a community moderator and why most membership owners accidentally turn their manager into a moderator. I'll explain how a reactive community manager adds work for you instead of solving problems, what a proactive community manager actually does to drive retention, and the best practices for shifting them into a strategic role that actually delivers a return on investment. My name is Shanna, and I'm a membership retention strategist who's helped my clients add $3.4 million in annual recurring revenue, not by chasing new members, but by building retention strategies that keep members engaged and progressing. One of the biggest mistakes I see membership owners make is hiring a community manager by keeping them stuck in a reactive moderator role. They answer questions, but they aren't creating engagement. They reply to members, but they aren't driving retention. They show up daily, but they aren't thinking strategically about member progress. This creates frustration for the membership owner because they still feel like they have to manage everything. But when a community manager is trained to be proactive, they take work off your plate, increase retention, and drive more value inside your membership. Most membership owners think they need a community manager, but what they've actually hired is a community moderator. A community moderator answers member questions but doesn't take initiative. They monitor discussions, but they don't create engagement strategies. They wait for members to post instead of encouraging conversations. A community manager leads engagement efforts and creates intentional conversations. They drive retention strategy by identifying at-risk members. They create systems for onboarding, engagement, and ongoing member success. A moderator maintains the community, whereas a manager grows it. If your community manager is constantly asking you what to do next, they aren't thinking strategically. And that's why you feel like you're still managing everything. A reactive community manager waits for problems to happen instead of preventing them. Here's what that looks like. They wait for members to ask questions instead of proactively providing value. They only respond to issues instead of planning ways to increase engagement. They come to you constantly for direction instead of thinking ahead. This creates a frustrating cycle where you feel like you're micromanaging, but they feel like they're just doing their job. The problem isn't the person. It's that they've never been trained on how to be a strategic, proactive community manager. A proactive community manager isn't just answering posts. They are driving member engagement, retention, and ROI. Some of the key responsibilities of a proactive community manager include onboarding and activation, making sure new members feel welcomed and know what to do next. They should be leading proactive engagement strategies, not just reacting to what's happening, but creating conversations that keep members engaged. They should be spotlighting members, sharing success stories, and keeping progress visible inside of the membership. They should be tracking engagement and retention metrics, identifying at-risk members before they turn. A great community manager owns these responsibilities. They don't wait to be told what to do. They create strategies to improve the member experience. If your community manager isn't thinking about retention and engagement, they aren't delivering the full return on investment they could be. If you want to turn your community manager into a retention and engagement leader, they need a clear set of best practices. Inside my Community Manager Best Practices Guide, I break this down step by step, but here are a few core principles every community manager should follow. They need to own the member experience. A great community manager should see themselves as a guide, helping members navigate the membership and stay engaged. They should be planning engagement campaigns instead of just reacting to conversations. They need to track member progress. If members aren't engaging, they should have a plan to reach out and re-engage them. And most importantly, they should be reducing your workload. A great community manager should be taking work off your plate, not adding to it. The difference between a high-performing community manager and a moderator who just answers posts is the ability to think proactively. When your community manager understands how to create engagement and retention strategies, you get a stronger community, better member results, and a membership that runs more efficiently. If your community manager is reactive instead of proactive, it's not their fault. They've likely never been trained to think strategically. That's why I created Cultivate, my community training course for membership owners and community managers. Inside Cultivate, you'll get a step by step framework for turning your community into a retention driver. You'll learn proven engagement strategies that increase participation and long term retention. And you'll get training designed for both community managers and membership owners so you know exactly how to implement these strategies. If you're tired of feeling like you have to micromanage your community manager, Cultivate gives you the structure to help them step into a leadership role inside of your membership. Go to shannalyn.com/cultivate to learn more and start building a thriving, engaged community that keeps members longer.